Again, we got cut off there. There was no memory, so I had to delete some files. Just as a side here, there have been my phone has been completely. This happened within 24 hours. The Illuminati have completely taken control of my phone. There's all kinds of functions I can't do. They turn it on and off and do all kinds of videos all through the day just to occupy my memory so I don't have room to tape anything. Nonetheless, we got rid of stuff that we didn't need, and we are ready. This is October the 12th, and it's around 9:32, the time said. So I want to finish this off. This is now becoming the third part of the Kwanlin Dun introduction video. But as I was saying here, so I'm at this point, this video, this third part is now saying, what does all this mean to you and me and 35 million Canadians and the First Nation people here? How does this all tie together? So I was just looking up at this poster, and this woman was looking at me and saying, what are you missing? It's so obvious. And she was right. It dawned on me this morning when I was looking up at her, the First Nations people are not here. The people who I've seen are just clones. There might, as I say, be some actual human First Nation people here, just like there might be some human Caucasian people here, but not very many. This place is full of clones. My struggle is when I was going through this whole country, where do I find freedom? Where do I find the 35 million Canadians that were made homeless by the violent police in this country? And where do I find my sister? I've been struggling with this all through this journey since I left Toronto on August 29th. I now feel that I need to go. I've felt this a few times, but thought I was there. I think I was almost there the other night. I need to go to, I believe that the First Nations land in this country is where a lot of these 35 million people are. I believe that they're around here somewhere. I'm getting close. I'm feeling a sense that I need to go to one. There is one west of here, not just the territory that I was in the other night, because that's still part of Whitehorse proper. I think I need to go west of there. Somehow I'll have to make it there. I don't know how I'm going to make it, but somehow I need to get the hell out of here. The police here are so goddamn violent, you can't believe it. They're so simple-minded, and this ties all things together. There has been, over the last 10 to 15 years, such a degradation in the principles or the standards of which police were hired that you have clones all through the police force. They don't have any cognitive thinking at all. Everything is done through violence. If you do not subjugate yourself 100% to them, as I found out the 4 times I was violently assaulted in Toronto in 3 weeks before I left, you will be bullied and you will be beaten up, as you saw in the videos that I uploaded. I was relentlessly beaten and almost murdered by the Toronto police. The same thing exists all through this country. The violence is so extreme. You basically have a bunch of people that are clones that have no cognitive thinking whatsoever, no process of analysis, no human emotion of right and wrong and what's moral. You basically have a bunch of clones that are violent who are given guns. It's just a recipe for disaster, and that's why 35 million Canadians are homeless now. The First Nation people I now see, as of being in here today, I now see this. They're not here. They have gone. They're probably in their ancestral lands and ancestral reserves far away. I believe that the 35 million Canadians are there all throughout the country, and they're probably in the north. The stupid Illuminati tried to deceive me into thinking that they're in Mexico. Maybe some of them are. I think, though, we are all connected in this. We are all in this together. The First Nations people were the first people to be targeted for murder, and white, or I hate this whole racist thing. Let's just say that people of European ancestry were next on the list, and Where's My Canada short-circuited the whole process. The key point, though, is that the 100,000 First Nations women who were brutally murdered by Stephen Harper and these jackass police were first to go. And there was a whole process, there was a whole systemic plan in place to get rid of 95% of the population per the depopulation agenda. The 100,000 First Nations women have paid for this with their lives and sacrificed for us. We owe them a debt of gratitude in many, many ways. That needs to be dealt with far down the road. For me and you, and Where's My Canada right now, I had this sense that there was freedom outside the cities and outside of the major arteries, and now I see that, yes, that's the case. I'm learning a lot today. The First Nations people were the first to go, but they weren't going to be the last. They were the first to go because they were the ones who legitimately could provide the biggest roadblocks to land claims and resource development, which the Nazi elite wanted removed. But you and I, meaning people of European ancestry, were certainly not that far down the list. I stated before that the mentally ill, the physically challenged, gays and lesbians, Jews, Muslims, these were all targeted groups that were going to be eliminated. And I have no reservations about saying that publicly. It was definitely part of the plan. Remember, the water apocalypse short-circuited everything, and Where's My Canada's release of information tying this together, that the Sparrow test was key, was the final straw that caused everything to go haywire. I believe firmly plans were in place, and Where's My Canada short-circuited things before they were allowed to develop. It might have been just months after that things were going to happen, but Where's My Canada short-circuited a lot. Where we're going with this is the First Nations people were first. They paid with their lives, many of the women. I believe that all of us were targeted, regardless of what our backgrounds were. We are all targeted for elimination and extermination in death camps, which I've documented exists throughout Canada. My challenge now is to find freedom. So I felt here today what I want to add is, I felt today that First Nations people spoke to me today. I see now that they are closely aligned with Jesus, that they are closely aligned, and that's how we connect, because I have a strong connection with Jesus as well, and I see our spirituality coming together. I see them speaking to me through Jesus. I see Jesus as coming to me and to address and stop the persecution of First Nations people by the Illuminati and Canada's power elites, so self-identified. We are all connected. I see the spirituality. I'm glad I came here this morning. The reason I left Starbucks, everything has a reason. Everything's part of the plan, was to finally gain enlightenment by coming here. So I'm going to end this. I encourage you strongly to look at mappingtheway.ca. It will allow you to get a better understanding of what I've talked about in these videos this morning, and I'm going to try to upload these 3 videos as soon as I can in the library when it opens. It's been a good day. It started off very bleak. It was a very bad evening, but things have turned around. So I'm going to have to figure out, and I'll probably go to church again today, exactly what my plan is to get freedom, because I am under such significant threat. I'm being starved and frozen to death by the RCMP, by a bunch of jackass clones. It's not a good scenario, and I need to get away from it, and that's a knee-jerk reaction. Let's pray for each other and pray for Canada. Have a good day.